What are my 5 favorite bushcraft items? That was the question Steve over at the YouTube channel So Steve asked me in a recent tag video. If you're interested in knowing what my 5 favorite bushcraft items are, stay around. So what are my 5 favorite bushcraft items? You know, it took me some time to figure that out. I don't think it was until today, when I was packing up to go for a hike, that I realized my 5 favorite bushcraft items are the things I reach for most often when I'm going out for a hike. So what are they? Well, the first one should come as no surprise to anybody who's watched my channel for any length of time. It's my hiking stick. This hiking stick is probably the only true bushcraft item that is going to be on this list because it's something I made for myself from resources in the woods. It is a small maple sapling that had recently died, and I cut it down, carved it up, and it's been with me for a lot of years, and I can't tell you how many times it has saved my butt. From injury, from falling, from stepping into water that was too deep, from I don't know, and it has many other uses as well. It's also a selfie stick when I want to wrap my camera around it and hold it at arm's length. So my hiking stick is number 1. Number 2, can you guess what it is? My Telly Hats. So I have a couple of Telly Hats that I wear on a fairly regular basis. Now the only time I'm not wearing a Telly Hats in the woods is when it's really cold and I need to wear some type of beanie or toque. And today it's cool for a spring day, but it's still a nice enough day to put my Telly hat on. So I have 2 Telly hats that I wear most often. This is the heavier one that I wear in the spring and the fall, but I love my Telly hats. Hard to explain to somebody who hasn't worn one, but they feel good, they fit well, they do the job of protecting me from the rain and from the sun. And what more can you ask? All right, my third item, just let me back up a little bit. Again, probably no surprise to anybody who's watched my channel for any length of time. As soon as it's cold enough that I need to wear something other than a shirt or a light jacket, on goes this wool jack shirt. This is a Canadian military combat wool shirt that is about 80% wool. It doesn't actually say on the tag. And I picked this up at a thrift store for about $5. And this has gone with me, it goes with me all winter long. From late fall right through to early spring, this is what I wear. Now, it's going to warm up before too long, and it'll be too warm to wear this in the woods, but until it is, this is my favorite. It has enough room underneath that I can put extra layers on or take them off, but even in the coldest of winter, I've been down to minus 25 degrees Celsius wearing this and a down jacket underneath, and it has served me just well. So this is my second favorite, or my third favorite, bushcraft item. Stay tuned for the rest. Okay, now for my 4th favorite item. I had planned when I came out today that I'd like to build a nice little fire, but would you believe it is the 6th or 7th day of April, early April here in Nova Scotia, and we're under a complete fire ban. That just goes to show you how little snow we had, how little rain we had, how dry the woods are, and it's actually very windy. I had to find a nice hidden spot today so that I could sit down and have a coffee, but very windy, very dry. Not sure how much of the wind noise you can hear because I am kind of hiding in a little behind a rock here. So I'm using my Trangia alcohol stove, but that's not the favorite item. The 4th favorite item, my zebra belly pot, my 12 centimeter zebra belly pot. Do you know, it may not be the best of all the pots I have, although it might be. It's just that it's probably the most convenient one for me to carry. What I like about the zebra belly pot is I can cook in it as well as boil water for making tea. Now I know you can do that with any other pot as well, and a kettle is great for making tea, but this does both while being just the right size. It's heavy gauge stainless steel, means it's absolutely bomb proof. I haven't been able to damage this. Now you can warp them. I have discovered that if you put it one side into the fire instead of over the top of the fire, one side will heat a lot more than the other side, and it will slightly warp. But that hasn't been an issue because I've been able to just bend it back and forth with a little bit of manipulation with my hands. The only thing, well, there's 2 things, but the only thing that makes the zebra belly pot not the best pot out there is the fact that the bail won't stay up on its own when you're trying to use it. So if you try to pour water from it, it's going to go all over the place. Now, I know if you buy one through the Firebox Stove or the Canadian Outdoor Equipment, they have the new metal clips designed by Steve at the Firebox Stove, and they do a wonderful job. But this is a pot that's older than that. So what I did is took a piece of coat hanger, made a little tiny hook. And I don't know how well that'll show up on camera. Just a little piece of metal that holds the bar in place, and now I can tip the can on its side and pour from it without any worry that it will tip and make the water go everywhere. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my zebra billy pot because it's just about coffee time. So as my water heats up for my coffee, I thought I'd share with you my 5th Bushcraft item, and that is my XXX Sitka. Now I have a separate video on this knife, so I'm not going to go into any detail about it, but it is a semi-custom production knife by XXX Knives here in Nova Scotia, and Derek Tappan customized it by making the grips a little bit wider to fit my extra large hands. Even so, it's a small knife, and it's not, it does, you know, kind of disappears into the palm of my hand. But it's not the only knife I take out when I go for a hike, but it is the one that I enjoy taking out the most often. So if I don't have another knife that I'm testing out, or another knife that I need, a larger knife maybe for splitting wood, this is the one that'll go with me. More often than not, this goes with me anyway, even if I do take a larger knife or an axe with me. So this is my 5th favorite Bushcraft item. Now I know what you're thinking. Mark, what about your AeroPress? You didn't say anything about your AeroPress. I didn't forget it, and I have it with me. I am making coffee with my AeroPress today. My ground coffee, my little wooden spoon, and it is one of my favorite Bushcraft items. The only reason it didn't make it into the top 5 is because I don't take it with me all the time. I don't always have ground coffee with me. I know that that sounds like heresy to a lot of you. I do have instant coffee once in a while. I have hot chocolate once in a while, and I have tea. But if I am planning on having a nice cup of coffee like I am today, then definitely the AeroPress goes with me. So it's a bonus item. Maybe it ties for one of the others for the 5th place, but it's a bonus item. And yes, I still love my AeroPress, and I still take it with me as often as I can. So those are my 5 favorite Bushcraft items. Now comes the fun part. Tagging 3 other people to share their 5 favorite Bushcraft items. So I gave some thought to this, and I decided to go with 3 other Nova Scotia YouTube channels. Also good friends of mine, but also very different in the way they approach their bushcraft. So those 3 people are Lawrence Comeau at Nova Scotia Bushcraft, Sam Wenzel at Sam's Woodland Tours, and Randall Graham at Vinland Bushcraft. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with for your 5 favorite Bushcraft items. Okay, so if you've enjoyed this video, you may want to subscribe to my channel. But in the meantime, get out and explore. You know, I found a new path today off of the main path, the one I hadn't seen before. I don't think anybody's been on it for I don't know how long. I found a fire pit on it that was all grown over. I don't think anybody's been there in 15, 20 years. But it was new to me, and that's what made it fun, finding something new that I hadn't seen before. So why don't you try that yourself? Get out and explore, take that path less traveled. It will make all the difference. Bye for now.